And we are, well, we're live and back for an interesting session that we knew was going to happen but didn't know when. So, do I need to make a recap for you, Errol?
No, I know what's going on.
All right. So, you, well, we'll just jump right into it because we've already talked about how this starts. You find yourself flying through the night. Um, Not long after the battle with the dragon, um, when no one was really looking, scrawling a note, one for the whole party and one for specifically Cal, and kind of darting off into the night without anyone noticing. Um, and as you've been kind of flying through the night, it's a very clear night, full moon. So you have a pretty decent amount of visibility as you are making your way north. I'm gonna have you though roll a Constitution saving throw for leaving a battle and then going and immediately taking off.
It's a 15.
A 15. All right. Filled with determination to pursue this dragon that has caused you so much issue. Um, you do manage to push through the night, arriving to the place where you had originally seen it. As the sun begins to rise. Uh, and looking about, let's roll a perception check to see how vigilant you are of everything that's happening.
My favorite stat. Jesus, 30.
30? Yeah. I figured as such. Looking around, you can tell the dragon has been here. There is a bit of dried, or not dried, but frozen blood along this kind of large platform in front of this cave. And as you kind of begin to push into this cave, feeling this unnatural cold sensation from the inside, um, you, following this blood trail, kind of make your way along. At first, you don't notice anything in particular. You see things that you saw in the vision, the walls of ice that make up, kind of restrict some of this cave, as well as various corpses, gold pieces floating about within this ice, and uh, other shiny objects as well. And
Earl
as you,
would probably stealth, by the way.
huh?
I want to stealth, by the way.
Roll me a stealth roll to go along with it while I'm doing this.
It's
Um,
not dirty 20.
Dirty
But
20.
yeah.
All right. Very quiet. You are, and as you kind of like move along, following this blood trail, you do notice that there are a few fairly fresh claw marks, some of which don't look to be from a dragon as they are not all that big. There are a couple smaller, sharp claw like scrapes against the ice. Um, and you do notice that in some places the ice seems to have been split open and burrowed through to kind of these different spaces that seem to might have once held something within the ice. And as you kind of get near the back of this cave, you find kind of in near the back end of the wall the frozen, almost almost like an ice statue of the dragon you had faced, petrified in a last moment of fear and desperation. The body seems to be completely made of ice now, as you can see through it clearly. But you can tell by the little bit of details from this, it did not go willingly when this happened, whatever happened here.
This is the dragon. It's just been turned to ice.
That's the only thing you can assume, as there doesn't seem to be anything else.
Um, can I go and examine the small claw marks in that hole that have been created?
Investigation.
Uh, Investigation. I have a zero modifier. I love
Go from strong perception to weak
it. Nothing.
investigation.
I got a 14. That's
14.
not bad.
You've seen claw marks like this before. You know it is. Uh, in your mind, this could definitely be a smaller race. Um, your head immediately, though, due to the voice you heard in the vision, uh, you believe these belong to the half dragon tabaxi.
Mm. The hole, does that is that like it was like the creatures, is it similar to how like the creatures were frozen in the wall and it seems to have busted out?
It
Or
seems
is
like something busted in. Like
okay.
whoever was here, and you don't know if it was the tabaxi or not. Whoever was here cut through the ice. It doesn't appear that any of it is melted. It seems that it was simply scraped away or chipped away. But it,
Just
it is
brute
such a
force.
fine cut that it definitely wasn't done by hand.
Okay. I'm gonna go examine the dragon's body a
Okay.
little more, see how it died.
So, looking it over, kind of examining this frozen statue, essentially, um, you can see where its heart is, its heart would be, as it seems to have, everything is turned to ice. There is a marking, kind of, it looks like an impact site of something, where flesh has kind of been, where flesh, if it was flesh, would have been removed from whatever struck him.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that, based on what you had seen before, this might have been his way of trying to survive by doing this becoming ice thing, as he had done it with you all. But it almost appears that it didn't work because of, well, his encounter with you kind of tampered with the magic that he did have to protect himself.
Uh, I'm gonna go break off one of the ice teeth. Is it just like normal ice when I go to investigate it?
So it almost seems like regular ice, but unlike normal ice, your hand doesn't stick to it like it would, like when you touch like ice that is not melting.
Yeah.
Like the oil of your skin will like freeze to it. It doesn't seem to stick, and when you get a hold of it and you kind of like, as you're trying to like remove this piece of ice, it doesn't seem to melt either. It almost seems to keep its shape and temperature to it. It's almost like holding a cold piece of metal, but that
Oh.
metal does not seem to heat up as you hold it. If that makes sense.
Uh, all right, I'll use the sickle to help me remove this tooth.
Okay. I would say sleight of hand to try to cut it just the right way.
Nat 20.
Wow. Nat
I
20s
have
for
a
the
plus
weirdest
9
things.
too, so it's a
It's so
29.
funny that you and both Alec get natural 20s for the weirdest things. All right, you perfectly cut out one of these teeth.
All right, I'll
Um,
stash it to my bag.
put like an ice tooth or something because that's really what it is.
Okay.
It's like mostly transparent, but it does have like kind of a faint white film to it. You know, like ice that like you can see through it, but it's white for the most part, and it's hard to see very far through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's essentially
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But you remove that, um, and kind of looking around this place too, you do notice that a lot of the items that you had seen kind of in the walls, there are multiple of these burrows that seem to cut through to where you had seen items at.
Hmm.
Um, and as you're kind of like looking around as well, you do notice kind of hidden behind the dragon as you kind of were looking around. Uh, there does seem to be a couple of odd items that seem to be almost hidden away, as if they hadn't been stored yet. They had just been recently acquired. A couple of odd pieces of kind of uh, black armor. Um,
Mm.
though it's not what you know is this is not Sarth's dagging armor. This is something else.
Is it like a full suit? How
Looking at
are
it
we
and
talking
looking,
like heavy armor? Is it scale mail? What are we talking?
uh, it's this thick. It's like a black platinum armor that looking at the pieces of it, there are various different pieces. The one that's most distinguishable to you, though, looks to be the helmet, which almost takes the form of this uh, head of a dragon with two large horns. And you do notice as well, like the chest piece and the back of the helmet seem to have these spikes running down it, almost like the spine of a dragon. Um,
Um, ooh,
And you
I'm
do notice
gonna.
that on the cuffs of this armor as well, there seems to be they seem to be almost set up with these spikes that seem to be what you would know based on your warrior background. They are meant to um, work as a shield or a weapon of sorts.
I'm gonna go and examine this armor, and I'm gonna ask Dalgamane if he's ever seen anything like this before.
Okay, getting closer to the armor, you do notice that on the interior of it there does seem to be like bloodstains. The outside looks to be spotless, but on the inside there are like it seems that this armor has been worn and whoever wore it did bleed into this armor.
Hmm. It's
Uh,
much too big for my character to put on, though, right?
it is roll an arcana check.
You know I don't know magic. I got an 11.
Something about this armor you can tell that like it doesn't look like it would fit you. Um though something about it seems off. It doesn't seem like traditional armor. There definitely seems to be something intriguing about this armor.
Errol's gonna sit there, pull out one of the coins from his pocket and go, "Do I let my intrusive thoughts win?" And he flips the coin and goes, "Heads, I put the helm on. We see what happens." I'm flipping a coin in real life.
Okay.
Oh shit. All right, it's heads.
All right.
All right, he's just gonna go over to the helmet and like put it on. I'm assuming it's like right now it looks like I'm guessing it's like a little bigger.
It looks
So
to be the size to fit like a normal human man.
yeah, so he's gonna put it on and be like, "Ooh, I'm a dragon now."
As you kind of place this over your head, there's a moment of it kind of just being clanky before it does almost seem to shift to fit better. And does see it doesn't lock in place by any means, but it does seem to shift to be able to be worn a little easier by you.
Oh, spicy. Uh, oh, do I want do I tempt fate and put the whole set on? Um, does Dalgamane say anything about this armor?
Dalgamane seems to remain quiet about this.
Like, all right, fuck it, we're here. I'm just gonna put on the rest of it and just kind of like just hobble around.
As you kind of are like slowly putting on this armor, it does seem to change to fit better, which is strange to you because it definitely
Yeah,
shouldn't be able to do that. Though
Errol's just gonna say,
you
I'm
don't
not
feel
one
any
to.
different wearing it. There doesn't seem to be anything
Yeah,
special that has like occurred.
yeah. He's gonna. Can I move like the same? Like, does it is it restricting my like range of motion at all?
It seems to because the armor itself, as you were like kind of putting it on and kind of getting a feel um, for it. The armor itself doesn't seem to. So it kind of consists of interlocking metal plates that seem to cover the entire body. Um, the parts of the suit itself, like the main features, is like the gauntlets, these heavy leather boots, the visored helmet, which is what is in the shape of the dragon's head, thick padding underneath the armor, as well as various buckles and straps that you had to like maneuver and attach to help
Mhm.
distribute the weight better, so that it wouldn't like get heavy on one side and shift or whatever. And there's something weird about it. Like wearing that, like the only thing you feel out of this is it would definitely impede on some of your ability to be stealthy because it is a little loud.
Mhm.
The armor is a bit clanky, um, sound wise, but other than that, it doesn't seem to cause any issues.
It doesn't seem heavy at all.
No, it like
So I could.
like it's
I'm asking because I know monks have unarmored movement speed. I'm just trying to figure out if that would affect it or not.
um, any armor would affect the unarmed movement speed
What would that drop it to? I
to
don't even
normal
know.
speed, so it'd be 30.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm just kind of like moving around with this. I'm gonna do a couple jumps. Does it? Can I? Are my wings still able to come out, or is that all tucked in? Like am I
Kind
sealed
of
in?
like maneuvering about and like messing with it. It does seem to mold to be able to let you have your wings out because
Mm.
the armor clearly does seem to be magical in some shape or form.
What happens if I put the visor down?
You just put the visor down. That's really it.
Nothing said. Do I didn't see any runes, anything like that, sketched or etched onto this.
No, you did not see anything that would tell you, um, like it didn't have any indications that it was magical other than the idea that it seemed to mold to your body.
Errol's gonna wearing this armor go up to the front of the ice dragon statue. Kind of I don't know how to describe like this little like happy run he's doing. Kind of the owl run essentially, but with armor. He's gonna run up and he goes, "I'm the dragon now!" Roar and roars in front of the dragon.
All right. Yeah, he obviously nothing responds to you as you do this. Um, yeah, that I got nothing else with that. Like you,
I just that's all. I'm having some fun with the armor.
you just run around with the armor, just rar.
I'm a dragon. Roar.
That's pretty.
Um, I'm gonna go back over to where I found that armor. Is there anything else over there? I still have it on, by the way. I'm just kind of like moseying around.
Looking around, there isn't anything else that seems to be of like particular value. You don't really find anything special other than like this armor itself. That was the only thing you really found.
There's no books or anything like that.
No, it seems what most was in here has been taken.
All right. I'm gonna summon the ethereal serpent and ask him if there's any other hidden chambers in this area.
Okay. Um, he goes to investigate this. Looking around, it's probably a good 3 or 4 minutes before he returns, and he kind of reports back. Just it doesn't appear to be that way.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Nothing that I could spot, at least.
Mm, by the way, does this armor look familiar to you? I know you've been sealed in the ring for a while, but
Hmm.
I'm not, I'm not much of a mage.
It definitely looks like something of my kind. Interesting armor. But no, I have no knowledge of this.
Um, Errol's just gonna kind of keep exploring the rest of the cave to see if there's anything else, like checking the walls as well.
Okay. Yep. Looking about, you don't. Other than what you found, you don't find anything. Um, well, however, as you do kind of like make your way kind of towards the front of the cave again, you do notice these some of the scratches that you had looked at
Mhm.
before. You didn't catch it at first, but looking at them a second time, they almost looked like runes of sorts. Um, and you don't know if it's the fact that the angle you're standing is allowing you to see this or what, but they almost seem to kind of not shift, but like when you get near them, there's an indication that they seem to trigger in some way. They're not doing anything though that you can tell. They're just kind of shifting slightly.
Well, I'm gonna back up. Does it stop shifting?
It does.
I want to take the armor off real quick,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna approach it again without the armor.
As you reapproach it, it does once again kind of shift.
All right, I'm gonna go back, put on the armor, and I was making sure it wasn't just the armor.
Okay.
I'm still a dragon.
Rar.
Rawr.
That's what I'm picturing, just a rar.
That is the theme.
Just rar
Um,
XDing with his armor. That's fine.
um, yeah, it's like the meme you sent me.
Yes. Yes, it
Um,
is.
yeah, I'm gonna go up and examine the rings. With them, I have no arcane knowledge. Can I figure this shit out?
um, you can roll
I
arcane to see if you can kind of get an idea of what it
got a
could be.
14.
You know it's based on how it's reacting to you. You know it's some sort of detection. The magic is definitely some sort of detection magic. You do not know specifically what it is doing.
I'm gonna break the rune.
Okay, and it's not too hard. You kind of break the glass, or not the glass, the ice around it. Uh, and as you kind of scrape through it, it does kind of go dormant.
All right. Um, I'm gonna, having realized it's a detection, I'm taking the armor off for a moment and putting it into my bag of holding.
Okay.
And then um, I'm gonna climb through the hole that was dug in. See what I can find.
Okay. Because there's multiple, but you're just gonna pick one and go through.
Um, the one that had like the claw marks. You said there's multiple holes?
Yeah. What it looked like was there was something that was deeper in the ice that was dug to and then retrieved.
Oh, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna check that out.
Okay.
Now I'm done with the armor. Errol's pretty confident in his stealth again. He's no longer
You
Dragon
put the
Boy.
armor away. Okay.
I go back to Owlman.
Yeah. Back to Owlman. I'm no longer dragon. Rawr.
When I reconvene with the party, I'm gonna wear that. Just
I will have the official
the
stat
door
for
in.
it when it gets to that point because it's. I realized the stat wasn't completed, and I'm really sad.
Just gonna
But
kick the door in and be like, I'm a dragon. Roar.
rar. Okay. Going into one of these holes and kind of like crawling through it. As I had said before, they do seem to be like perfectly carved. Clearly, it was probably some sort of magic or device that allowed this to occur. Um, and kind of as you get to like the spot where there looks to have been some item originally, you can see how it was parts of the ice were cut through to allow the item to move a certain way to be able to be retrieved.
Mm-hmm.
Um, kind of feeling along these areas and kind of like investigating this. You do, as you can tell, you do feel that this definitely, the item that was of this specific thing was definitely magical. As strangely enough, your key almost seems to react to it. You almost seem to pull some sort of energy off of it that was there. You don't know what the magic was specifically, but you can definitely feel that there is something.
Is the hole big enough for me to sit in where the item was?
Yeah.
Could I go and meditate there
Yes.
and try to draw from any of the energy?
Yes, wisdom check.
Um, oh God, another. Okay, that's a 15.
15.
It
Kind
was a
of
10 bonus.
taking in this energy and kind of focusing on it. Several minutes pass as you try to enter I guess perfect state would be the term, or not ascended state, but meditative state, I guess would be another one. Uh, you kind of are pulled, your vision is kind of pulled to. Uh, it's a small chamber. Well, it's not really small. The only reason it looks small is this chamber is filled to the brim with all sorts of items. You can see. You can't identify where this is. It does appear to be underground somewhere, but it is a stone, almost vault of sorts that is just filled with all kinds of magical stabs. You see, there are rings that are scattered about. There are various pieces of armor, uh, books, scrolls. Some things you can't even identify what they are, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them that you can see on the edge of this vision. Um, some of them are just covered in runes. Uh,
And I just want to clarify, it's like this is not necessarily, is this like below where I'm currently sitting in the ice, or how did like it pan down to it?
it your vision was kind of shunted into a dark space, and then
Mm-hmm.
as you adjusted, you seem to find yourself like within this vision, sitting in this chamber. You have no idea where this chamber is.
Would I be able to draw upon Dalgamane to see if I could get a better idea?
Hmm. When you do this, uh, he doesn't quite understand what you're asking of him because he's not seeing this vision.
Could I try to share it with him? Is that possible? Because I know I've brought him into my meditations before.
It's tricky because it's not a mental space you're in. You have pushed yourself further trying
Okay.
to do this. So it's in the meditative state, you were it was just the that was the essence of your mind, and you had entities visit you within that state. This
Mm-hmm.
is going beyond the meditative mental state and going to something more astral, if that makes sense.
Then could I attempt to describe it to him?
Sure. Let's see. I don't know if I should make you roll for this, and if I do, what should I make you roll? Hmm. Yeah, that would make sense. Roll me intelligence to see how descriptive you can be.
Ah, yes. My +0 intelligence.
Yes. As much as I don't want to do this to you, it's the only thing that makes sense.
I got a 16 straight.
That's pretty good. Um, kind of describing this place to him, as you kind of look through it. Um, as before, you didn't see any distinguishing marks. You just name where these items are, and that this thing kind of looks like a vault. Um, his response to that is he kind of just says, "I'm not entirely sure what that could be."
Hmm. Worth a shot. Does the vision show me anything else?
As you were kind of looking about, trying to uh, get a better idea of this space, you get a odd sensation, kind of this cold chill down your spine. Uh, before hearing a voice simply whisper in your ear, "It isn't nice to spy on a lady's things." And you feel the vision snap away from you, as if you were pushed away from this space.
Um, is this voice the female tabaxi? Do I recognize it?
You would recognize it as her, yes.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, I know who owns it. Um, shit. Um, I'm gonna make my way out of the hole, and then I'm gonna examine the other holes as well. See if any of them lead any deeper.
Okay.
Oh no, the serpent said there's no.
He just said there was no other exits. He went around. There was nothing else.
Okay. Yeah, I would just make my way. The hole by the entrance. Does that seem to go up?
It seems like the others. It doesn't go all that. It doesn't go as deep as the others because the ice here wasn't that deep. It did seem. It does seem a bit narrower than the others. But other than that, you can't really tell if there's anything special about this hole compared to the others. You know that there was probably some sort of magical item in there. That's about it.
All right. All right. Yeah, I'll just exit the cave.
Okay. You make your way out of the cave, um,
Oh, I wasn't
looking
able to
at the
harvest the
sunrise as
tail.
it's coming up, knowing that your party is currently traveling southwards towards Bloodkeep, as they had promised. Um,
How long?
huh?
How long has my character been awake?
By this point, you're on your second day of being awake.
Oh shit, yeah. I'm gonna fly up a little bit and see if I can find an area to sleep.
Perception.
21. I was an 8 plus the 13.
That is a very believable roll for you, considering your stats. um, to be honest, I don't ever expect you to roll under a 20 with perception, considering it's a plus 13. If you roll under a 20, you're having a bad time. Um,
Yeah. It's
dear God.
like perception and acrobatics. If I ever roll under a 20, it's just not a good
There's a
day.
problem. Clearly, there's an issue. Looking around, you actually do see the forest that you had caused the dragon to tear through the first time you'd seen. Still, some of the destruction still there. A lot of the trees either died from the cold that he produced or were knocked down when he was thrashing about.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
that was from like,
That was a while
yeah, that
ago.
was a while ago. The trees haven't grown back yet.
Would I still be able to find the cave that I had originally swiped the item from him?
That was the cave you just went into. You went
Oh,
to it.
wait.
You had been by. This is his lair is right here.
Oh shit.
You guys walked
Okay.
past his lair, essentially.
Hmm. There was nothing else here. Interesting. Well, oh, okay, there was stuff. It had been snatched.
Yes, and as you're kind of like looking about too, you do notice that there are a few smaller caves that could be used as shelter. You're not sure if anything lives in any of these caves.
I'll just go examine some of the caves.
Okay.
I want to find one that goes like maybe it goes into a bigger cavern. See if it goes back.
You roll a dice to see if you find one. Going through the various caves, most of them seem to be like shallow entrances, some going as deep as 20, 30 feet.
Hmm.
Uh, there is one that seems to be more of a burrow than anything else. Um, and kind of like going into it, you do find that you don't actually get to really get that far before you realize that you can hear probably 10, 15 rippers kind of stirring within this cave. Um, Seeming to be preparing themselves for the day.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if you want to go in further or if you want to just.
Yeah, no, I'll pass on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was like probably back out. Um, but yeah, the ones you do find they are little outcrops that are like dug into the mountain a few 30 feet at most that would make good shelter, similar to the one that the rest of the party had stayed in the night that you left.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go into the very back of the cave, see if there's like a any rocks I could just hide behind
Yeah, there's like a
for
few stalagmites and stalactites that kind of obscure visibility near the back.
Yeah,
uh,
I'll just go into there, wrap myself in my cloak and the blanket that I still had, and then I will knock.
okay, you
I
kind of.
think that at this point I would get the rogue attribute that I grabbed, Phantom. So I hadn't taken a long rest until now.
Yes, you rest, um, fighting. You find yourself waking up probably late afternoon. You probably slept for more than about probably somewhere between 10 to 12 hours, as it does seem that you are exhausted from everything you had been through. Um, and kind of waking up to the sun kind of nearing uh, the horizon. You do. Trying to think of what I'm trying to say to you. Um, what is it that you want to do now that you've gone through the cave? I'm trying to think of what I was about to say.
Um, I didn't know how long it was going to take me to actually explore the whole cave. I didn't know if it was going to be bigger. The I just need to quickly communicate. So probably Octavian, give him a heads up. See if I could contact Kala, let him know the dragon's dead, and then attempt to contact Cal as well.
Okay.
I'll start in that order. So Octavian, we'll just
You're using the
send
stone.
this down.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just
Okay. What do you
let
want to
him
say to
know.
him?
I'll say the white dragon was killed by a female tabaxi hunting dragons. Give the topaz dragon a heads up to stay on the low.
There's a light or very short pause before he says, "Understood. I'll let him know when he wakes. Whatever he did for y'all, you all. He's not gonna say y'all for you all. Uh, seems to have drained him quite a bit. Good to hear the dragon's dead.
Um, then I will try to meditate. Contact Kala.
Wisdom.
Wisdom roll. Oof, that's an 8.
Something seems to just, you don't know if it's you or Kala's just out of whack or something, but you can't get a signal out here.
Damn. All right, well that failed. I'm gonna try to contact Cal then. Hopefully, hopefully this goes through. Oh, God bless it does. That was an 18.
Okay. What are you trying to say to Cal going into this kind of state? This would
Um,
be the first night they would have rested. You would have been able to reach out to him.
I would have said, Dragon's dead. I'm on my way back.
His is a little more rapid response compared to Octavian. You just simply get um, good to hear. We're a few days out from Bloodkeep. We'll see you there most likely.
Okay. I want to look at the map real quick just to figure out what the fuck I am.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Do I need to resend the map?
We have the old map. Oh, the new map. Ah, there it is. So where am I in relation? Am I
It was
near,
before.
I think Strixhaven? Somewhere around there?
It was before Frostheim, I believe, is when you saw. No, was it before Beasthaven? No, you saw the people before Beasthaven. It was after Beasthaven. Yeah,
So
you're
in
just north
between,
of Beasthaven.
so in between Beasthaven and Frostheim.
Yes.
And they're going down to Bloodkeep. Oh God, that's gonna be a haul.
Yeah. You flew quite a ways, and
Have we ever gone to Craggle Rock? Rack?
you guys skipped it because you had to go from Bloodkeep to Winter's Bane because of Talia, the High Priest.
What is that Craggle's Rock again? I know Magnus had mentioned that's not where the priests are, right?
No, it's a place where there's a lot of the warlords and raider supplies and riches and things of that nature, as well as a blood pit. But I
All
don't think
right, I'll
Magnus
go.
told you about that.
I'll just, I have a question, player to DM. Do you want me to fly through Craggle's Rack, or would that just be too much?
Like you can, like if you that's the path you want to take, you definitely can.
Okay. Do you want to DM for that?
Like you can fly over it. You don't have to go through it.
Okay. I think at most I would maybe see if there's a shop that I could figure out what the fuck this armor is, but I don't, there's no mages there, right?
It's like based on what Magnus would have told you, it's mainly just kind of a plundering pit. It's where a lot of
Where are the where are the mages then? Where the fuck?
Strixhaven, which is to the
And that's where
west.
all the people were dead, right?
No, Giant's Bane is where everyone is dead.
Oh, Strixhaven would know. Okay.
Strixhaven, where you met the female bugbear mystic, which was the magic shot keep, which I bet none of
Oh,
you had notes about.
I wasn't there for that session.
That's right, you weren't there. That was when you guys first met Octavian too.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I wasn't there.
So is that where you'd like to go?
Mm, sure. It's not that far. 'Cause if I'm in
No,
between,
it's a few hour flight. You guys got there originally in I think you guys got there in 3 hours using Cal and Journey casting polymorph a few times.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll fly over there real quick. See if I can figure out some shit.
Are you returning to the town or the shop that you had gone to the first time
Um,
when you weren't here but
yeah,
you were with the
because
party?
she had magical items, right?
Yeah, she was a that's where they got the cloak of displacement and a couple other things.
So she would be some help.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go over there then after my rest. And then for the Phantom, I will get proficiency in survival.
Okay. And we'll say for your phantom thing, it would just be pulling from Dalcomane.
Okay. Julio.
It's his way of aiding you. All right. So you enter Strixhaven, the familiar town of magics and other such things. Kind of pushing into the shop where a lot of your party had purchased various magical items before. Um, and upon kind of entering, there's kind of a silence to it at first. A lot of the place seems to be somewhat dark. Um, and you kind of hear a voice from the back, and you just hear her, the same female voice from before. You just hear, "Who's coming in so late?"
Um, this is Errol. My party was here not too long ago, but if you're closing, I could leave. I just had a question.
You see this bugbear kind of peek out, and she kind of like looks over you for a moment. And you do see it kind of, for a moment, it takes her a second to recognize who you are, or that she's seen you. Recognize you as in she's seen you before. She says, "And what might your question be?"
Um, we we had recently um killed a dragon, and it had some weird armor within its hoard.
All
And
right.
I'll take out the armor.
She kind of comes back around, like comes out of the back, this like back room that she was in. Kind of comes out and begins looking over the armor. Pauses for a moment, and she's looking it over, and she says, "I've never seen any armor like this before. You said you found this in a dragon's keep?
Um, are you familiar with Glassmere the Blizzard?
You mean the white dragon to the east?"
Yes, he is no longer.
Hmm. I was wondering when
I'll
someone
I'll,
would kill him.
I'll pull out also the tooth, the frozen tooth. This is all I could really get for a trophy. I was hoping to skin its hide and make some form of cold resistant cloak, but a trophy is a trophy.
Kind of gives you a nod. Kind of turns back to the armor. She's kind of like running her hand through it and kind of like trying to get an idea of this armor. And it's probably like a good 10 minutes of her just kind of like making grunts and small comments under her breath, and she's going through it. She just says, "This armor is different from anything I've ever seen before. It's definitely magical, but there's no indications of why or how."
It does have a weird shaped helm in the form of a dragon. And then, is it at like its normal size right now?
It kind of kept to your size.
And I'll explain to her like when I found it was much larger. However, when I put it on, it shrunk down to my size.
I see. There is a number of enchanted armors that are able to do things such as that. But this one, I'm not entirely sure what makes it special. No,
Would it
she's.
at all be?
Hmm?
Oh,
What were you gonna say?
continue. I was gonna say, would it at all be have crafted from like a dragon, simply based on the helm?
It's possible. The design of it is definitely older. You see her kind of like pull out a book from under the counter, as well as a few things of what look to be various incense and other things like other uh, magic components. She begins to kind of begin casting various kind of detection spells to try to give her a little bit of insight on this armor. As she's kind of doing it, she probably about 3-4 minutes past this, she just says, "It's definitely interesting. It's the magic to it is very old, pre-calamity old, I would say. This is something most likely crafted by a god, or maybe a dragon."
Mm. It was valuable. Interesting. Well, I appreciate your help. I'm not much of a mage or familiar with the arcane at all. By any chance, would you have seen a tabaxi woman come through here?
She kind of scratches her chin for a moment. Thanks. She
Kind of
says,
has a dragon-like arm, and she'd black fur, right? And like
"Yeah, it was black
orgaz.
furred tabaxi with black scales."
Yeah, I'll just describe that to her.
None that I
She's
can
escorted by a
recall.
paladin.
Yeah, there's none that I can recall off the top of my head that would have come through. Um, it is a possibility they did, and I just do not remember.
Well, I appreciate all your help. And then I'll give her 50 gold. That's a decent price. I don't know how shit works. I'll just give her 50 gold.
All right, she nods to you. She takes it and says, "It was a pleasure to help you.
Have a good night.
You as well." He kind
Okay,
of
I'll just
watches you just kind of walk out of the shop, seeming to question a few things as well as kind of thinking over her own ideas and thoughts as you leave.
cool. Yeah, I'm just storing that armor in the bag.
Okay.
Da-na-na. All right, cool. I am heading straight from Strixhaven, straight line down, so I would pass over Craggle Cragger I don't
Cragarack.
know. Cragarack. Yeah, I'd pass over it, but all I would really glimpse is just see if the the village has been burned.
Okay. While you are flying, as you keep kind of going down, heading towards Bloodkeep, um, roll me a Wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay. First one was a nat 20. Second one is a dirty 20. I will send you that history.
A dirty 20. Wow, that's a very powerful roll set that you just did. Wow.
Literally the
You
roll.
you do also have a very strong stat though for wisdom. So, oh wait, no, wisdom's not one of your strong ones. That's right.
Wisdom is.
It's strong, but it's not one of the strongest you have. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
this is literally rolled 1d20 plus 5, 25. Second roll, roll 1d20.
That's awesome. Okay. Um, you feel your head as you kind of near. Um, it's as you kind of go over Giant's Bane, you feel your head kind of start pounding, and your chest almost seems to tighten, and you're almost forced to land on the top of the giant like skull that seems to like dome, act like a dome around the city. Um, And as you kind of land, uh, you the only way to describe it is you have a like it almost feels like you're being pulled apart from the inside, but whatever is causing this to happen seems to have started within your mind, and you seem to have fought it there as like the rest of your body seems to be fighting whatever this is.
Is this at all familiar to the Wendigo?
I would say you would realize that it is a hunger pain that you are feeling of some sort.
I would. Oh shit! I gotta transform. Fuck. Um, I neglected that bitch for a while too. That was bad on my part. Um,
You can try to fight this. Like you can fight this.
mm, you said where? Okay, where is Giant's Bane? Because it's not on the map I have. Is that
Giant's Bane is
Warcry?
just below Strixhaven. It's like
Okay.
50 miles below Strixhaven, I think.
This is a whole village, right?
It's the place that you found everyone dead. This was where the Bloodwell Hound was. You're on the top of the giant skull that makes up the boundaries of the town.
Um, I'm gonna go down. I guess just transform and see if that helps.
Okay. You go down. On
As I transform, I'll just be like, sorry, I've neglected feeding you for a while.
you as you kind of do this, you feel like as you go to transform, uh, you feel a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Your mind is clouded and muddled as this happens, and you find yourself almost blacking out for periods of time and coming back and then blacking out and coming back. And the only thing you remember is a lot of it was running through the snow before everything goes dark, and then you see blood, and then it goes dark again, and it just seems to go back and forth for you what only feels like a matter of seconds.
Hmm.
Um, and when you finally come to once more, you find yourself laying in the snow, the skull laying on the ground next to you, um, and you feel completely drained. Looking
Is
over
there any
yourself,
blood around me?
hmm?
Is there any blood around me?
You are covered in blood, and the snow around you is a deep crimson color. You don't see any signs of what the blood is from. You just see the blood itself.
Say, Dalgamane. What was that?
At first, he doesn't respond, uh, almost seeming to be pushing through the muddled nature of your mind at the moment before you hear him say, some of your soul seems to be in rather ravenous state,
How do I
similar to the
fix?
Wendigo.
How do I fix it?
Hmm. I may have a way, though you may not remember any of it.
Good or bad? Remember any of it? Like a blackout at a bar or a tavern and stumble your way home, or go into a berserker rage.
I would say a mixture of both. But
Dude,
you won't have to deal with any of the consequences if you aren't here much longer.
if I'm here much longer, what do you
As
mean
in
by
the meat
that?
grinder, not alive.
Is the meat grinder affecting this?
He kind of sighs and simply just says, I have to feed in order to help you.
I was
And,
hoping the dragon soul would have worked, but we got beat to it.
well, I have other ways.
How so?
You won't have to be known as the one who killed a number of residents of this place. But just know that we will have to kill several of them in order to fix this temporarily.
What residency do we have to travel to?
Leave that to me, and you simply just rest.
Hmm. I don't want any friends harmed.
I won't go any after anyone you know.
Only the wicked? You are the spirit of vengeance.
There are plenty there that are here.
Do as you must.
You catch a sense of just almost a mixture of malice and kind of confirmation that he will. And as your eyes kind of close, you feel yourself slowly almost being like encapsulated in almost a thick black liquid before your memory goes dark.
Oh,
And
hell yeah.
when you come to once more, you find yourself the sun peeking over the mountains. And as you kind of look up and look around, you do find yourself on the edge of Bloodkeep, looking down on the training fields and various buildings that make up this small uh, raider town. And as you kind of get to your feet, you do also feel that empty feeling in your chest that had built up when the Wendigo had been ripped out of you the two times now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the feeling isn't there. You don't have that hunger that was there before. It seems to be sated, at least for a time. You do also notice that the tattoo that Dalgamane made upon your arm, it seems to be longer. It seems to have grown in size. Um, and you simply hear as you wake up him say, that should keep you satisfied for at least a time.
What is the body count?
It's probably best you don't know.
I'd prefer to know. We are partners.
Somewhere around probably 50 or so.
From what town?
Cragger's Wreck.
Hmm. If you need souls, let me know, and I could handle it as well.
In the future, we'll make sure of that. And you kind of feel him slip back into dormancy as he usually does.
Alright, Errol's gonna roll in the blood, or in the snow, so clean the blood off of
You
him.
actually don't have the blood on you anymore. When he took over,
Oh,
it seemed that
shit.
you were cleaned.
Oh, fuck yeah. Alright.
You do,
Oh,
as you kind of look down at the town, though, um, kind of, there's almost a relief in you that you didn't have to travel, or at least remember traveling all the way. Um, However, when the time comes, as you go to begin your walk down the mountain, you hear a loud crack and almost the sound of like splitting earth and fracturing ground behind you as you look. towards the north, towards the direction of where Gorgamoth is located. You
Gorgamon. Who the
see
fuck?
Gorgamoth is the center of the world map. I don't. Do you have you seen the world map? You should have
Oh
seen the
yeah,
world map.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very
Gorgamon.
very center. That island in the center. You hear just cracking and shattering as that center island that you've seen on the maps before seems to rise. This raging storm of darkness and whirlwinds seeming to hold it up as it slowly rises several miles above its normal resting place. And as this occurs, you also see these dark silhouettes and masses that seem to be flying rapidly around this island, darting about. And as you kind of watch this, there is a almost like a stone dropping in your gut as you kind of get the feeling that something is not quite right in the world.
I would put on the armor and then run down to the town.
Okay. And on that note, we will end this because that's where everyone else left off. Both parties ended at the same note, which is perfect considering we're going on the 3 week break. So, awesome. Yes, so you would be regrouping with the party in the armor. I will get you that stat within the next few weeks because I need to actually finish it.
Take your time. That
Yeah.
I find it hilarious that not Errol but also Errol just completely fucked Craggerrock.
Yes. And they'll never know it was you. But on that note, if you guys enjoyed this, follow us on Twitch, join the Discord, or follow us on Twitter for updates when we go live. We are going on a 3 week break. I didn't mention that before. We are going on a 3 week break after this. A lot of people are dealing with school and other things, so we're giving them a break. Let them wind down for a bit before we continue this adventure. And if you want to catch up on previous episodes, we do have a beautifully crafted YouTube page with playlists just for you to listen to in order to catch up from beginning to whatever is current or the end if we have already finished that campaign. And as always, we hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.